Hey guys, welcome back to Totally Forkable. I should take my AirPods out. Today I'm gonna be doing a taste test review and a little bit of an overview of the company of MEATS vegan meats, or as they're now known, Lily's Vegan Pantry. So this was a little confusing for me when I first was searching for MEATS. It kept directing me to this website called Lily's Vegan Pantry. On the website, it says something like MEATS with Lily's Vegan Pantry. I think it would be a little less confusing if they had on the website something like MEATS is now Lily's Vegan Pantry, but we got there. I figured it out eventually. I'm gonna be trying 4 different MEATS products: the Imitation chicken legs, the Imitation Sugarcane chicken legs, which are a little different, the Imitation BBQ Ribs, and the Imitation Citrus spare ribs. So if you watched my Super Bowl video, you saw that I already tried the Imitation chicken legs, but I'm going to be trying them again today, just to compare and contrast with the other one and to just taste again, you know, maybe I'll have a different feeling about it my second time trying it. Before I get into the taste test, want to do a little background on the company. I was really only going to do a taste test in this video, but then I started doing some research and I found just the company to be so fascinating. MEATS, which is now Lily's Vegan Pantry, but as it began, it was MEATS, is a 25-year-old business. It's a family business, and it was started by a woman named Li Ying. She said that in 1994, her Taoist temple in Taiwan gave her the idea to open a vegetarian store in New York. So this was a store that sold vegetarian products in Chinatown. They had a really rough few years, their first few years in business, because they just weren't really making any money. They were having a hard time selling their products. They ended up giving a lot of products away just for people to taste, to just try to spread the awareness around vegetarian meats. But in '99, the business really started taking off. In the year 2000, they started making their own product line. So that's when the MEATS meats really began. The company continued to grow. It became the largest vegetarian meat alternative market in New York City. In 2020, Li Ying, the founder, retired and her daughter Lily took over, hence the name change to Lily's Vegan Market. And also Lily wanted to make the entire business vegan as opposed to some products being vegan and some products being vegetarian, which I think is great. You know, I love when things are very clear in terms of labeling. I found this interview with Li, the founder, from 2005, and it is on the publication Satya Mag online. They asked her why she started MEATS. She said, growing up in Taiwan as a Taoist, I was provided with plenty of delicious vegetarian food. But when I moved to New York, the cultural environment lacked many of the foods I grew up with, and it affected my traditional eating habits. As time passed, I realized there were a growing number of vegetarians, not just among the Asian American community. They also asked her, what is the basic philosophy behind vegetarian meats? And she said, the basic philosophy is that every animal deserves the chance to live out a full life. This is the Taoist belief. By adjusting our eating habits, we give the animals this chance and at the same time benefit ourselves with a healthier diet. The core belief of the company really is animal rights, and love supporting a company that has that mission. I also found this article on Tricycle, which is a Buddhist online publication, and the article is called Before It Went Beyond, Mock Meat's Asian Roots. This article is from 2021, and they highlighted the fact that mock meats have actually been around in Chinese Buddhist culture since the 10th century. So while they're really kind of just making a huge dent in the market in the last few years, the Buddhist culture has been making and eating mock meat since the year 1000. Another thing I found was an article from LA Weekly, and I'll link these all below. This article was from 2010, and it was talking about how these products are used in a lot of different Asian restaurants in Los Angeles. And if you guys recall from my Super Bowl video, I hypothesized that these chicken legs are the same, you know, drumsticks that I used to get at some of my favorite vegan Asian restaurants in LA. And they actually name dropped one of the restaurants that I was thinking of, which was a restaurant called Vegan Glory. It's just funny that I have been eating MEATS vegan meats for years without really realizing what I was even eating, and that a lot of these meats were coming from the same company. There are so many products on the MEATS website. While I only got sort of like chicken and pork based products, they have a crab and squid and just all types of different products that I wouldn't be interested in, because those weren't foods that I used to really enjoy that much when I was a meat eater. Let's get started making these. For my chicken legs, I'm going to just be popping these in the air fryer. I'm not gonna put any sauce on them ahead of time, like coating them in a buffalo sauce or something, which is what I would usually do, because I do wanna try them alone first before I dip them in anything. For my ribs, I'm just going to be cooking them in a skillet. Just very simple. I mean, it literally says simply reheat and serve on most of these packages. Also, I thought I'd mention that all of these products are non-GMO, so since they're soy-based, I feel like that's important to mention. So I'm gonna get started cooking. And I'm excited because I am hungry. So we have all of our meats cooked, very easy. It's probably like a 5-minute process total. I think that I'm gonna try the ribs first because these wings, I can already tell, are very hot. And so I wanna give them a little time to cool down. Let me try the citrus ribs first. I'm the most excited for these. For some reason, I think I'm going to like them the most. Yummy. I thought I was getting like a Chinese 5-spice flavor, but I'm not seeing that in here. Could be the cinnamon, the licorice. Yeah, definitely a very kind of like spicy, unique flavor that I do associate with Asian food and Chinese restaurants. A few months ago, I tried the vegetarian plus something like this, like a ginger citrus spare ribs or something like that. I found them at Whole Foods. They were very similar tasting to this. I could totally see this in like just a really yummy dinner with some broccoli and rice or just any veggie, and it would be really good. Okay, let me try the rib, the barbecue rib. Not sure if I got them to heat completely evenly, but let's see. Gosh, a little less of that flavor punch than the citrus ones had. Definitely a little more sweet though. Yeah, it's a little more of like a drier experience overall. There's this really kind of sweet aftertaste. What could it be? I really enjoy these. I think trying them right after the citrus ones puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage, but they're still really good. Let me see about trying these wings here. I'm gonna try the sugarcane one first because this is the one I haven't tried yet. Whoa, I think I may have just gotten a bite of the sugarcane. I'm like, I got some really big variety of textures in there. I almost got like a mushroomy feel for some reason, but there's no mushroom in here. You know what it is? That flavor? There's water chestnut in here. I don't know about that. I don't know if I need that. Like maybe the flavor adds something, but I don't know that I need that texture, like little chunks of water chestnut. I'll try it with a little sauce just to see. Let's try it with a little Frank's first. I was not expecting it to be so different from the other one, from what I recall. The other one is quite different. So let me try the other one now, even though I've already tried it on camera. So this is the imitation wings without gluten. Again, just trying it by itself with no sauce at first. There's something a little bit almost like floury about the texture. I don't mean like the Vital Wheat gluten way, but it's almost a little too loose or something. I really like the outside skin texture on these. Overall, I think I like the texture of these ones more. I almost wish there was a little bit more structure to them. Like a little bit more firm and chewy. At the same time, there's something very realistic about them. I think it's the flavor, I would say. Let me try these ones. Let me try this other one again. I really don't think I like that water chestnut flavor. It doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't add anything. If If anything, it adds a little bit of an unpleasant flavor. Also, I think I'm just enjoying these ribs so much that the wings just don't taste as good by comparison. The ribs have such a more chewy texture, and I get because they're supposed to be pork and not chicken, but I enjoy a little more chew. It's so hard for me to describe the type of texture that I like with my vegan meats, because on the one hand, I'm like, I don't like the Vital Wheat gluten, just like chewiness, but I do like chewiness, just a different type of chewiness. Like I think the Vital Wheat gluten chewiness is a little bit just too kind of bready or just kind of all one note. I don't know how to describe it, but if you are like me and you like certain vegan meat textures, but not Vital Wheat gluten texture, but also not the vegan meats that have become so overly meat-like, like a Beyond Meat, let me know if you agree with that and how you would describe it, because I know I sound like a Goldilocks, Princess and the Pea maybe? You know, I like what I like. Should I rank these maybe? Favorite, number 1. Don't think it'll be a surprise. The citrus spare ribs. Love the texture, love the flavor, love the kind of sauciness, the stickiness, just hit all the right notes for me. Number 2, I think I will give to the barbecue spare ribs, just because I do like the texture. I think they could use a little more sauciness, but I think if you cooked it with a dish and you added a little more sauce, it would really bring out the best in them. And then a close third, so not too far off from number 2, a close third would be the Imitation chicken legs. So the ones that I tried before in the Super Bowl video, the ones that are gluten-free. I think that like with the right sauce, with the right dipping sauce, it ends up being pretty enjoyable. And then last place would be these Sugarcane legs, unfortunately. Just did not like the water chestnut taste or texture. Also, I'm like, can I eat this Sugarcane leg? Very sugary. Wow. I don't think I've ever had Sugarcane before. Very like fibrous though. Pretty sure I shouldn't swallow those fibers. So there's my Mewa vegan meat taste test. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you've tried any of Mewa's products, or if you may be having light bulb moments like I am and being like, wait, maybe that one restaurant that I really like their vegan meats, maybe they use Mewa products. I think it's really cool to support a woman-owned business, a minority-owned business, a long-term vegan, vegetarian business that has been doing it for the animals from the start, and a business that really was a trailblazer in many ways, but doesn't really get the credit that some of the newer, bigger vegan meat companies get, which is interesting that all these companies are mostly run by white men. Just an observation. So I highly recommend checking out Mewa, highly support them. That brings us to the end of our taste test. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of these. Thanks for checking out this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye.